plus 100 awesome facts you should know. Part Alpha. 101 final facts everyone ought to know. There are facts that everybody knows, like however dinosaurs once roamed the earth. Then again there are facts that almost all individuals don't know, like how sloths will hold their breath for extended than dolphins. What regarding the facts that everyone should know? Well, that leaves just about everything else. Whereas we tend to can't guarantee that these facts can flip you into a quizmaster, we reckon there positively some that you just shouldn't miss. So, probe these 101 ultimate facts that everyone should know. 1. Genghis Khan strategically married off his daughters to expand his empire. Genghis Khan solely gained his title by the time he reached his 40s, at that purpose he had over 10 children. Khan married his daughters to allied kings, who he would transport to war. His new sons-in-law seldom came back alive, and his daughters took management of their new kingdoms for Khan. 2. A planned change to the American Constitution in 1916 would have had voters vote on all acts of war. In 1916 the United States had not nevertheless entered warfare. However, all signs pointed in this direction. The planned change was submitted to Congress, at the site of a signed petition by Cornhusker state residents, but was ultimately rejected. The proposed amendment additionally would have dominated that anyone who voted in favor of an act of war would ought to register as a military volunteer. 3. A silverback gorilla might deadlift 1,800 pounds, that's 815 weight units for you metric maniacs. To relinquish you a more robust idea, the deadlift record is simply over 1,100 pounds, 500 kilograms. This should come back as no real surprise, as gorillas are the most important primates in existence. 4. Costco's hot dog and soda dance band has remained at an equivalent value since 1985. If you create your thanks to a Costco food court, you'll develop this good deal for simply $1.50. Over time the price of the deal increased, however Costco countered this by Gap a Mill to create their own sausages. This near gave the impression to have an effect on its popularity, as 151 million hot dog combos were sold in 2020. 5. A company in Japan awards non-smokers an additional 6 days of paid leave every year. It absolutely was dropped at the selling firm's attention that staff who went for smoke breaks had over quarter hour of additional time off from their desks each day. Rather than penalizing smokers, they came up with an ingenious incentive to quit smoking, whereas keeping their non-smoking employees happy within the process. 6. In Singapore, once you flip 21, you're mechanically registered as an organ donor. The Human Operation Act, HOTA, was first introduced in 1987 thanks to very low organ donation rates. It absolutely was solely from 2009 that voters and permanent residents were mechanically registered as organ donors. 7. Hawking was reported to run over the toes of individuals he didn't like. The world-renowned man of science used a chair from the age of 22 thanks to a severe kind of afferent neuron disease. This didn't stop this from having a small amount of fun, crushing the toes of the many who play his ire, together with the UK's Prince of Wales himself. Once confronted regarding this tendency, Hawking passed it off as a malicious rumor before jokingly threatening to run over the toes of anyone who continued it. 8. The Apollo missions have left 96 luggage of poop, pee, and vomit on the moon. All the manner back in 1969, human beings created history by walking on the moon for the primary time. That wasn't the sole first that happened on that important trip, it absolutely was additionally the first time literal trash was dropped on the moon. Resultant voyages to the moon followed suit, leaving all their unwanted trash. However, it seems that's all for a decent reason. The returning ballistic capsule don't have enough fuel to hold all that weight back. 9. Guests to one of Hawaii's islands can take a shelter dog out on adventures for a day. That's right, if you head on over to Kauai in Hawaii, you'll develop a shelter dog and take it for walks on the beach, hikes, or simply wander around the island. Every dog is equipped with a cute vest that advertises that the dog is for adoption. The dogs additionally get some much needed exercise, which, combined with their vest, helps locals adopt them. 10. Samuel L. Jackson was an usher at Theologizer King Jr.'s ceremony. Jackson studied at Morehouse College, wherever Dr. King and different distinguished civil rights activists would usually visit and have debates. Once King was assassinated, his funeral was rarely commanded in Morehouse College. That is, however, Jackson was ready to be one among the funeral ushers. Once this experience, Jackson became way more heavily concerned within the civil rights movement. 11. Fish eggs will survive being devoured by a duck. The fish eggs can still hatch after going in one finish and popping out the opposite. Not all fish species will survive such a journey, and even then, not all eggs devoured are pooped get into a pristine condition. Still, it's a decent rationalization for a way on the face of it disconnected pools and lakes can suddenly become swarming with fish. 12. There's a restaurant in the Big Apple that employs grandmas rather than chefs. The menu at Enoteca Maria may be a very little unconventional, as half it's a hard and fast Italian menu whereas the other half changes daily. This is often as a result of a special grandma comes in each day with not simply a replacement menu, however a totally new cuisine. The owner determined to run his building like this as he had lost up all maternal figures in his life and needed to recreate the sensation of intake in his grandmother's kitchen. 13. The large part of Titanic was discovered throughout a classified mission to go looking for sunken nuclear submarines. Henry Martin Robert Ballard, who discovered the large wreckage Titanic, originally visited the Navy to request funding to develop a sophisticated robotic submersible that might enable him to search for the wreckage. The Navy likable his idea, however determined to use it to go looking for 2 lost American nuclear submarines. The mission finished early, and Ballard was ready to use the additional time to find the lost ship. 14. Jim Carrey was the primary actor to star in 3 consecutive box office hits. Jim Carrey didn't have abundant success within the acting world till he hit his 30s, but that modified in 1994. Within the area of 11 months, Carrey asterisked in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, that actually kicked his acting career into gear. The Mask, in particular, took the planet by storm, grossing $350 million and showcasing Carrey's ability to explore a variety of roles and emotions.